What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Black Ronin back on that again with another banger for y'all's out here today, y'all. But guys, y'all see it up here in the title. African Hollywood slays American Hollywood by a long shot, and I'm surprised nobody even know about it. Like heck, I didn't even know, for a good minute until I started looking into more. Basically, guys, once I started learning more about Africa, because like when the whole passport bro thing popped off and everything, um, I was just starting to look around and be like, oh wow, I didn't know all that stuff exists. I didn't know how, cool things were. I started seeing videos pop up on YouTube about, people living in Africa, people, living in Thailand, Germany, all these places and showcasing this and that. And people are living pretty solid. Americans doing good out there. So then I started looking around. I said, let me look into that. And also, I wasn't quite sold on it at first. And that was mainly because I was like, well, the things I'm going for is really like locked in here in terms of like America, for what they have. Yes, America has probably the most opportunities in the world regarding the things I do and what I'm into. And if you're a subscriber that's been following me for a little bit of time, you know that your boy is an actor. Like I'm in the entertainment industry and I've been in it since probably 2021, literally right after the pandemic. And, I've just been grinding and grinding with it, been on a few sets, a couple movies. Just finished up a TV show pretty recently, Cassie Catch a Criminal. That I think that should be airing sometime next year. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's my first like TV show, and also I got a few episodes I was into, and who knows, maybe back for a season 2. We'll see what happens. But I'm doing my thing out here in terms of entertainment. So for me to just look outside of the U.S. and the more I learn about Africa and other parts of the world, but especially Africa. And I looked into the entertainment space. I say, okay, if I'm ever gonna leave America, which I am in the future, I gotta make sure that there's a good entertainment space where I can go in and I can go do my acting and still progress in that. And also, I want to open my own studio, which is why I got my second channel, Dagger Films, and post my content, about filmmaking and also reporting on the newest, latest Marvel news and all that stuff. I do all that on that other channel. But, when I started looking into Africa and I looked at the media and the entertainment, I was just blown away, guys, at how much better it was than right here in America. I'm looking around, I'm just like, damn, like, I see what we got up here in America. I'm just like, geez, like, it's crazy how, like, I don't know what the heck is going on, but it's like with stories, they're just not as great no more. Like we don't really get no more compelling stories. And whenever we do get some decent stories, they don't get the marketing. They don't even get the respect they even deserve. There's plenty of movies that I just gave a shot. I was just bored, went to go check it out, and it happened to be outstanding. And I was just like, whoa, I wish this film would have got, a lot more praise, just a lot more recognition. Like one film I was watching, dang, shoot, I hate it when I think of something and I just lose it, but I'm gonna come back to that one. But guys, like there are some small films I'll just be coming across and I go give them a watch and I'm like, dang, this was actually pretty good. And like, cause we need these smaller films, smaller productions, that still produce high quality movies and get those out there. Cause honestly, those are like the real gems here in America. When it comes down to films, like for instance, Angel Studios. Now I remember Angel Studios probably like the best Hollywood films going forward. I like that's a studio I would love to work with in the future. Like, I mean, Angel Studios is probably dominating Hollywood right now. Just their systems and stuff, and just how they're doing it. Literally, Hollywood is trying to copy what they're doing. Like I've been seeing it because like at the end of every Angel Studios movie, they always show like on the pay it forward system and all that stuff. I remember a film came out. I can't remember, but I think Sony made it, if I'm not mistaken. But they was doing the same marketing strategy at the end of their film, and I was like, oh snap, they copied that shit from Angel Studios. And yeah, so Angel Studios, they doing a lot of good stuff. They got one new film, Homestead. I'm pretty excited for that. Like they got some solid stories, and like they know how to get people in the theaters. And I love the whole pay it forward system. Like that's a studio that we really need, and other studios like that, I would love to see more of. And you just don't get those type of quality films, and I just love their system and how they make their films and put it out there. So big shout out to Angel Studios. They probably the one few studios that's really doing things right and giving us really good stories a lot of times. But mainstream stuff, really, really mainstream stuff, we don't really get a lot of like really like outstanding stuff like that. I mean, probably the last thing I'll probably say that was like really, really good in terms of like, let's just say dialogue alone and, just a great historical story was probably Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was outstanding. Like, man, I love that film. Um, like usually it's not a lot of films today that knows how to properly handle and just make a good dialogue, type of film, with a mix of drama and all that stuff. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that's not really my cup of tea. I'm more for my action films, but have a mix of drama and a good twist to the story. Those are the things that I like, that makes a good film to me. I always say, at least from my experience, like I think to make something great in terms of film, you got to have a perfect blend of, catching people like what's the word? Not clickbaiting, but you got to catch people attention, It's one way, shape, or form. You got to have something very, very like you got to have some eye candy in there to catch people and reel people in, but also don't just clickbait them. No, like actually give them something solid, but have a perfect blend of drama and everything, like all the components that you need, to make something really great. And I just feel like we're just not really getting those stories here like that in America. Like a lot of the stories that we're getting has been basically a lot of remakes. We got hella remakes, one after the other. And then they'll try to do something a little different with the remakes, like race swap a character and everything. That's one thing. I know some people don't care. Now there are some instances where it actually, does work. Depending on the actor, if it's very well known, and and we already know he or she is going to give a fantastic performance, then yeah, it can absolutely work. But that's not every single actor or actress. You can just toss in there and have them do an incredible job. And then on top of that, historical films, they'll bring those out too, race swap that person, and I'm just like, oh, like is like just give these like you got so many stories in history, like with the black people, like my community, a black community, and you got white people, you got all these different races, like y'all can do so much solid stuff in terms of like telling a great story for like everybody. But no, we're just gonna take something that's already known, a big IP, and then we're gonna waste swap this person. We're gonna check off all these boxes, And then on top of that, like it's a lot of stories too. Like I've been noticing, it's been like a lot of like alphabet community stuff, which I ain't got nothing against. Listen, like I ain't got nothing against that like on that community whatsoever, but it just like understand, the majority of the population, like that's not how we move, so like when it comes down to telling a story, understand, like you want to make it appeal to everybody. Not saying you can't talk about, like a particular community, but understand, you got to do it in a way that's going to, be like pretty much a general type of film, for everybody, because at the end of the day, like if you're gonna make a film for a tiny, tiny small group and not have nobody else really pay attention to it or watch it, like I'm not saying it ain't, it's not good, but it's just like, you want to get your film appealing for everybody. You want it to be like a universal type of film, not the brand, but like a universal mindset you want to have when it comes down to filmmaking and just storytelling in general. But not a lot of studios have that type of mindset. It's all about, okay, what's the latest trend going on? What's popping out here? What the Gen Zers out here doing? Oh, let's make a film about this. But we don't really get a lot of new, really authentic stories. We don't really get nothing that really connects to just everyday life. We don't really get those type of films up in here in the U.S. like that. And then music, that's another thing. Oh my goodness, like just this mainstream stuff is just garbage over here. And there's maybe a few people I listen to, like if I'm working out, like if I'm working out and stuff. I do got Yeet, like that's one of artists I listen to if I'm working out and everything. But I don't really listen to a lot of this stuff here, like that. But man, but guys, when I tell y'all, when I look into the African media, I'm just mind blown at like how good the stories are, and just how crazy it is. Not a lot of people really know about how good their content is. Like guys, check out Kings of Joburg. Actually go to the YouTube channel Africa on Netflix. They got some crazy, incredible, like good African TV shows, movies, and that's just on Netflix. I don't even know what's going on in their theater section. I don't even know like how their theaters and stuff are doing over there. Like no idea. So I was looking at that. Like they had one TV show on trailer I was watching. I think it's called a Disaster Holiday. That looks really really good, and a lot of their content reminds me of like the old school days of like a lot of like Hollywood films over here in America. Before they just went all crazy with the stuff. Woke it up, and just not knowing what the heck they doing. I don't know. It's a major shift with Hollywood. Like, and heck, even as an actor, whenever I'm just looking for roles, I'm just like, dang, man, is there anything good? And I'm just like, and then whenever I do come across a good role, it's just like, one that's like suited for me, like for a black person or racially ambiguous, as they like to call me, a mixed looking dude. Whenever I do come across a role, it's just like the typical stereotype of roles, and that's one of the things I love about, African, entertainment. They got all different types of stuff, like so many different types of entertainment, and just Africans portrayed in so many different ways. Like I really like that about the African entertainment, and that's something that we need more of here in America, because in America it's just like it feels so repetitive, with the media and just content that we're just getting. It just seems so repetitive, and I'm just like, what's next? Are we ever going to evolve from this? Like, but I get it. Hollywood is definitely in shambles, and everything's about like, hey, we need this to make money. But at the same time, creativity, you have to take risks, and also you have to understand you have to make content that you have to know how to catch the audiences first of all. But don't be afraid, to just take risks, and just understand, like, yeah, like, listen, Marvel films are always going to make money. And heck, even if you make a bad one, it's still going to make better than a lot of lower budget indie films, unfortunately, but yeah, Marvel is always going to be around, but you got to look beyond just Marvel superhero stuff. And heck, and y'all still can't get it right, which is insane to me. And y'all got the source material right there in front of y'all, especially Star Wars. Star Wars is insane. I don't know why the hell they can't get Star Wars right. Like, good Lord, like it's right there in front of y'all. And heck, like the sequel trilogy would have been so great. Episode 7 was actually pretty solid to me. I was pretty hyped for the sequel trilogy when it first came out. But after, like, once we got to the second one, I was just like, dang, it fell off. Like, there's no direction. And then the third one came, yeah, Rise of Skywalker, like, just, nah. I was very, very disappointed, and it's just like mainstream media and entertainment here in America, it just became a more hit or miss. You'll get a few good things, and then you'll get a lot of repetitiveness, and then you just get a lot of misses, So, you never really know what to expect, and it's just not a lot of, like, like it's just not a lot of great content, But when I look at African content, I'm just like, damn, man, like so much more compelling stories, so much more, great characters. And then on top of that, like when something is a success, I notice, well, at least for Africa on Netflix, like they don't just stick with it, like they're always putting out different types of stuff, like it's not just, oh, this blew up. Let's solely focus on this. Let's milk this thing for however many seasons possible. Let's keep on milking it. Like no, like there's so many other stories that I'm seeing dropping on Africa on Netflix. I'm just like, oh wow, this is cool. I like this too. Like they really got some good stuff, and I can't even imagine what's going on in the theaters. Like y'all, man, African movies probably insane over there. I'll probably say in terms of at least black culture here in America, like I'll probably say the last solid show we probably had in a minute that really had like kind of everybody watching was probably Empire before Juicy Smollett. He fucked that shit up. But you know, the one interesting thing about Empire, even though it wasn't my type of show, but when I did give it a watch, I was like, oh damn, this is pretty solid. It was funny, crime, action, music. It had it all up in there. But one thing I thought that was cool at Empire, when you look at the family of the lions and everything, you got like basically you didn't see the stereotypical stuff. Like you see a dude running a music company. Terrence Howard played Lucius Lyon. Lucius Lyon. And then you got Cookie up in there. They came from the streets and then they got rich. One of them went to jail. Well, both of them went to jail. And then the children, 3 children, you got, was it Andre, Hakeem, Jamal, and all them. And they're all very different. You got Jamal, he's like the really smart one and business orientated. Like, business oriented. And then you got Jamal, he's with the alphabet community, but he's like really talented. But the thing about him, like he just acts normally, like he's not your typical flamboyant, type of person, like of the, alphabet community, which is something not a lot of people don't really see like that. And, seeing a perspective, how that goes down in the black community. And then you got Hakeem, your typical, wild one, the community. So, you got these three, and then you got the crazy father, like it's a very crazy family. But yeah, like it was a solid show. I ain't gonna lie, even though it's not my type of show like that, I ain't gonna lie. When I started watching it, back in the day, I was like, man, this ain't bad, but yeah, that's probably like the last solid show. I'll probably say like black people we probably had in a minute. Now, movies a different story. When it come down to black movies, I will say our best stuff was definitely like in the early 2000s and also 90s as well, like Rush Hour, you got Big Mama House, Tyler Perry movies, like, those films back in the day, like was just, that was different, man. Like that was a different time. But now it's just like, I don't know, man. It just don't hit like it used to. You just don't really see really solid stuff like that. It's all about the crime and just, back then, like black media in general here in like here in America, it had a lot more diversity and it wasn't just the typical stereotype, versus now it's like they claim things are getting more diverse, but I don't know, man. Like it just a lot of bad writing going on here when it comes down to making a story here in America. And just a lot of people just want to milk a franchise for however long it is possible. Versus when I look at Africa, they don't really do all that. And on top of that, going on back to music, y'all, African music just slay us, man. Like here in America, like listen, like Africans, I know y'all look up to a lot of us black Americans in a lot of many ways when it come down to entertainment. But hey, y'all entertainment is 10 times better by a long shot. I don't care what anybody says, but it reigns around the stuff that we got here in America. Like music is, y'all got way better music than what we got here in America. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you got some decent artists out there. Like if I'm working out and stuff, or or just on a date, whatever, like if I got a woman over, or whatever, one of them days, get the music on, that type of thing. But yeah, but y'all just got better music for like positivity and everything. Like it's way more positive, um, like content that y'all have, which is something that we missing here in America. We don't got a lot of positive content a lot of time. That's why I really admire Angel Studios here in the U.S. Because we don't really get that type of content and like have it be mainstream like that. Like we just don't get that type of stuff as much. It's always like it kind of feel like a lot of things are just being pushed, like injected just for no reason, and just not a great story behind a lot of things that that just happen to be there like at all. And that's really how just a lot of American media is. But things may change here in America in terms of the entertainment industry. Movies might just get better, but honestly, I'm not so sure. I feel like it's gonna be the same thing for a while, but keep on going, Africa. Y'all got some good stuff. Y'all got talented artists. Y'all got Run Town, Omale, who else? Tyler. You got Ruger. Y'all got some solid people out there. That be doing some great stuff. And heck, y'all, those are just the bases I know. I don't really know a lot. Artists and stuff like that. I'm still learning. Like I said, like the more I learn about Africa, the more I'm just more and more intrigued. I can't wait to visit there and potentially move there in the future. But yeah, going back real quick before I wrap this up, but just like, me being an actor, I'm gonna keep on pushing it. I'm gonna keep on doing it. And, I'm glad, that, me looking outside of just my comfort zone, looking into Africa and all that stuff and be like, dang, I can do acting over there and be in entertainment over there as well. I'll say, oh man, I want to do more work over there compared to here, if I'm being honest, because like it just like here in the US, it's just like if you're a person of color, it's just like the best thing you can do is probably just produce your own type of media, because like don't get me wrong, you'll come across some solid media at times, that really represent us like very, very good, but you just don't really see that on the regular. Like when I'm looking for acting roles, it's just like I know there's a chance, in the future, if I do land something big, it could be a race swap. Or if I do land something big, it's just gonna be the typical stereotype, what you see. Or if I do land something big, I don't know, it could be great. Like you just really don't know as an actor, what you're just gonna land, but you just gotta keep on pushing. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Black Americans, Africans out there, just Americans in general, Americans who know a little bit about Africa and knows the entertainment that comes out of there. Do you guys agree that Africa has the better content and better entertainment compared to what we got here in America? Because me personally, guys, I think it is 10 times better. I don't know what this shit is over here that we got in America now. Back in the day, old school Hollywood used to be pretty solid. But now, I'm that new generation walking up in there into the acting game. So, it ain't the same. But you guys let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Black Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. I'll be catching you guys on the next video. If y'all made it all the way through, a round of applause, y'all. Like, thank y'all. But y'all take it easy, y'all.